All right, everybody. What? Rocky? What? Rocky? What the hell is Rocky? Rocky? Rocky, can you hear me? Rocky, can you hear me? Are you there? Hello? Okay. Hang on, everybody. It'll just be a minute here.
Go for Rocky.
Rocky! Rocky, where are you?
Who is this?
It's Steehn.
Steehn.
The steamroller.
Why didn't you say so? I haven't saved your number yet.
What? Why not?
It's too much work.
Hey, speaking of work, why aren't you here?
What do you mean? It's my bye week.
What do you mean it's your bye week? There's no bye weeks.
Yeah, we get bye weeks. Did you not see the email?
No. What email?
The email that Chris King sent.
What? Oh, no.
What?
Rocky, there's no bye weeks. He's just messing with you.
Why would Chris King mess with me? I mean, we're such good friends. Sometimes we play this game called Omelet where I stand against a wall and I have to dodge as he throws eggs at me.
That sounds like Chris is just egging you.
No, it's a blast.
Okay, whatever. Can you just get over here, please?
Fine. Just let me do one more.
One more what?
One more, Steehn? Come on. I'm doing jackknife.
Okay, well, while we wait on Rocky to make his way back from poolside, let's talk about our newest and greatest sponsor. It is No House Advantage. Fantasy sports redefined. You can bet on player over-unders against the house for a shot to win up to 21 times your original bet. Not too shabby at all. Or you can play pick'em contest against regular folks like yourself for cash prizes. Just visit nohouseadvantage.com or download the app. Whenever you make that first deposit, make sure you use the promo code WNW to get a first-time deposit bonus up to $50. So, without further ado, we've got our old heads in here today. Rocky, he's out of his mind. Hey, let's talk about a guy that has to be pretty excited about his Buffalo Bills, the number 6 seed in the AFC right now. He's pumped. You know him, you love him. He's gruff. He's gruff. He's a little, and he has a freshly new haircut. It's Chris King, everybody. What's up, Chris?
Well, on any given Sunday, anything can happen. I mean, look at what happened to Dallas. Happened to them. Look at what happened to Philadelphia last night. I mean, it was a disappointing loss, but I mean, you got to give credit where it was due. Justin Jefferson played a great game for the Vikings.
Yep, you really did. And Chris, I know you've got some exciting news coming up. What is that? What do you want to share with everybody?
Well, that's true. I mean, Just Parlays, the show that we did for 11 months before going on hiatus. We'll be back next Saturday, the 26th at 9 a.m. Eastern. Be good to be back on the air, talk about what's going on and what should be the last regular season week of college football. And we'll have, 857 college basketball games to talk about, too.
Yeah, that's a fun spot. You get to break down what's left of the college football card and all the college basketball and everything like that. And I'm also excited because, of course, Rocky and his Magic Beans were still broke. Had some great sales last week, and we appreciate it, you guys. But we're doing it again this week. Almost the very same deal. We are doing Chris and I's picks because, Reichel, he's too cool to do picks like that. So Chris and I have banded together, and you can get both sets of our picks, all of our football picks this week, college and pro, one low price of $25. Or if you want to get just one of our picks, one person's picks, it's $15. So
I will say this: the one good thing about Rocky not being here at the moment is we didn't have to go through his remedial math homework of trying to do 21 times $1 and everything else like we did last time.
Very true. Very, very true. So make sure you get that. The code is going to be right up there. Of course, you'll hear more about it as the show goes on. And naturally, we also want you to comment on today's video. And as far as I know, we're the only show that pays you drop a comment. Everybody that drops a comment will be entered in this week's drawing. We will draw it on Thursday, and everybody has a shot to win a $100 gift card. We've given away, 5 or 6 of them so far this season. So, we're excited about that. Make sure you drop us a comment. And again, we'll mention that a little bit later. And the other handicapper today, he always feels weird when I call him one of the old school guys because he's 25, but compared to some of our other handicappers, he's one of the Utes And he has assured me he is not being held hostage, as he looks like every time he is in front of that background. Little green screen there goes a long way, brother. I'm just saying. Hey, it's Scott Reichel, everybody. What's up?
I'm very happy to be here. Looking for it's nice to be seen. Nice to be back on the show. How you guys been? Hopefully you're doing well.
We've been good. Hopefully we can do a little better than we did in our college show last week, as you and I both went. There he is.
Hey, it's Manning.
Nice you could make it, but he's got all jerseys should be that way. In case you wanted to know who's playing, they should have their name on the front. Very good. Nice you could show up, Rock. Nice to have you here.
Thanks. It's good to be here.
Correct.
All right, number 81.
Was that Lenny Moore?
Nope.
I can't remember. Was Lenny Moore 81 or was
That Inside Out now? Okay. It was Inside Out. Okay.
That's right.
Oh, he took you 3 tries that time.
Okay.
It's an improvement.
Yeah.
I was waiting for your head
try
to
to
come out
put
the
pants
armhole.
on.
We're going to be taking a look at the NFL card. Got some weather coming up this week, guys, and it's going to be affecting one game in particular, but we'll get to that. So don't forget, like I said, drop us a comment. Let us know what you're playing. Let us know what you think of the show. What was your favorite part? What was your least favorite part? And more importantly, what are you on this weekend? You got some pro picks. You got some college picks. Drop them in there. Let us know. Could win you $100. Just saying. All right. I think that's it, guys. Are we ready?
If he's ready.
I am now. I'm not prepared, but I am ready.
All right. Well, we will kick it off as we always do with the Thursday night game. This one could be a little better than the usual Thursday night game. I don't know. This is 2 teams. I'm sure, and you can't really blame the Thursday night people that set the schedule up for some of these games, because when they set them up, you look like, hey, this is going to be a fantastic game. You got the Packers, you got the Titans, the number 1 seed in the AFC last year. So, there you go. But it's not the way it's worked out. You've got 2 teams that are actually kind of struggling a little bit. Titans versus Packers. Packers at home. Minus 342 is the number. This Packers team was able to get the run going against Dallas, but as Reichel was quick to tell everybody, Dallas rush defense really sucks, and they are 25th in the NFL, giving up yards per carry. Tennessee, well, they are stoning other teams' rushers. They haven't given up more than 100 yards on the ground since week 2, and that's 7 straight for those of you scoring at home. I don't think Rodgers is going to be as good as he was in the second half without a viable rushing game. I'm going to take the Packers the Titans plus the 3 here. Of course, don't forget, this may not be one of my best picks. It may be one of my best picks. Make sure that you check out Chris and I's great deal on the packages this week, as we offer both our football plays for the entire weekend for $25. Or if you want to get just one of us, we can save you a little money, $15 if you're looking at that bald guy and going, I don't even know who that is. You just want to get my picks? You can certainly do that. It's only $15. Make sure to check out the code right up there. All right, go ahead, Scotty.
Yep, I agree. At the end of the day, I do think that even though Green Bay won, Dallas's run defense is not great, which is why Aaron Jones went for over 100 yards. Dylan played well as well. The issue is I still don't think the Packers are very good, and they also are really bad at stopping the run. And now they have to face Derrick Henry. I know Tony Pollard played well last week, and I don't think Derrick Henry is going to struggle in this matchup. Plus, Tannell came back, so they actually can throw the ball maybe a couple of times per game, unlike with Malik Willis. I'm going to take the Titans in this one. I think that Green Bay winning a game might cause them to be a little bit overvalued because they're going to think that Aaron Rodgers is back or whatever. I don't buy it. I think they just had a good matchup. They came from behind. They were down 14 in the fourth quarter. Give me Tennessee. This team's consistent. They play good defense against the run. That's good enough for me.
The Green Bay team has really been overvalued all season, I think. I think there's been 2 or 3 points heavy almost every week with that team. So
yeah, I've got to agree with you guys. I've got to go with Tennessee here. I mean, let's face it, for as good as Christian Watson looked the other day, let's not forget that he's been injured, 2 or 3 times. He dropped the first pass that he had thrown to him that should have been a touchdown against the Vikings. He's inconsistent, which is what you can say about most rookie wide receivers. Dobbs was hurt last week. I guess Randall Cobb's supposed to be back. if anybody's excited about that. Granted, supposedly,
He's still alive?
Tennessee's pass defense isn't great, but I don't trust Rodgers to find anybody that he can rely on to move the ball enough. And Derrick Henry, even though he was shut down pretty well by the Broncos last week, had, 16 carries for 53 yards. I think he'll have a better game this week, especially with Green Bay without Rashawn Gary. Now that's a big blow to them defensively. And like Rachel said, with Tannehill back, they might actually be able to complete more than 5 passes in a game. I'll take the Titans in the points.
I know Aaron Rodgers likes to spell things out. I'll spell something out for you. Possessed. Possessed. The ghost of Greg Jennings has possessed this wide receiver group. I think they're going to figure it out. Christian Watson had 3 touchdowns. I like the Packers in this one.
Just to throw it out there, I understand the Greg Jennings put the team on his back reference, but he's still alive, right? Like, I don't know if he can be a ghost if he's still alive, but that's a separate story.
Well, hopefully nothing happens to him.
If you're regular viewers of the show, a lot of times we don't get bogged down with needless details.
May he met the ghost of Greg Jennings' football career.
All right. All right, so we're going to take a look at the Panthers, the Ravens. Ravens 11.5 home favorites. 43.5 is the number here. This Baltimore team has not been fantastic at home. They've been downright dreadful against the number. 2-2 straight up, but 0-3-1 against the spread. Carolina, well, not much better on the road. 0-4 straight up, 1-3 against the spread. Something's got to give. Carolina wants to run the football. They absolutely, with Baker Mayfield getting the start here. But Baltimore, they have been on a bit of a heater as far as rush defense lately. They give up 3.2 yards per carry to New Orleans, 2.7 to the New York Giants, and those are 2 teams that really run the football as well. I see more of the same in this one. Yes, it's very dangerous, laying 11.5 with a team that hasn't covered yet at home, but I'm going to do it. Give me the Baltimore Ravens, minus 11.5.
So for me, this game's pretty tricky, but I am personally going to lean to the Panthers in this one. They played on Thursday night, so they have extra prep time. I know that Baltimore's off a bye, but I've seen Baltimore implode in the fourth quarter all the time, especially when they're up by double digits. They might be covering at some point during this matchup, but I'm not sure if I trust them for a full 60. Having said that, I know that even if I might not be the biggest fan of this game, I'm sure a couple of the winners and whiners experts are. You can use the link up above there in the top corner. I think I'm pointing to the right corner, and maybe one of them will break down the game, but I'm going to go with the under. I don't trust either offense in this matchup, and I do think with Andrews constantly being in and out of the lineup, I know he's missed the last couple of games, I'm a bit concerned about the overall weapons that the Ravens have in the pass game. Both teams want to run. I think they'll drain a lot of clock. I see an ugly, low-scoring game, and I think it's correlated. If I think it's going to be low-scoring, I'm going to take the underdog because I do think that there's not going to be many points of, I'd say, leeway for both teams here. Just give me the under, give me a close game, some ugly final, but give me like a 20-10 game.
Well, Rachel's right to the point of the fact that both teams are going to want to run the ball. The problem is Carolina's not very good defensively. And like Steehn pointed out, Mayfield starting, and while he's 3-5 in his career against Baltimore on the road, he was just 1-3 at M&T Bank Stadium while a member of the Browns. I don't trust Baker Mayfield any further than anybody can throw him, and we've seen how poorly Carolina's quarterback play has been all season. I think Baltimore is going to run the ball down their throats. It's going to be Lamar Jackson left, Lamar Jackson right, Lamar Jackson up the middle. Maybe you'll see Gus Edwards if he's healthy. They might not have to throw the ball in this game. This could be the Malik Willis special for Lamar Jackson, where all he has to do is either hand off or run. He doesn't have to throw the ball. It doesn't matter if Andrews plays or not. I'm going to go with the Ravens minus the 11.5, and the score is probably going to be, to go back to Steen's musical interlude, something like 25 or 6-4.
Well, just for the record, that'll never air. So my phone blowing up with my ringtone of 25 or 6-4 in the middle of my breakdown will not be on the air. Although it may be now.
I've already gotten sued by Chicago, the band, and the city multiple times, so I cannot afford another one.
Fair.
Okay, I'm agreeing with everything Rachel's saying. 2010 game, here's what's happening. Baker Mayfield playing maybe 2.5 quarters. They're down 20-3. Sam Darnold comes in, throws a touchdown. They cover. They still lose. The end. I'm taking the Panthers.
All right, let's take a look at a game that maybe will be impacted a bit from the weather. We talked about it at the top of the show, and this is the game that it is. It is the Buffalo Bills up there in northern New York, an area that's known to get a bit of snow on occasion, and that should be the case here later this week. They are 9-point favorites as they host the Browns. Their brothers from Lake Erie. Buffalo sits on Lake Erie also, right?
Yes.
Okay, that's what I thought. Okay, yeah, good. I think I saw 43.5 on Twitter earlier, and I'm not sure if that's.
I was going to say, I think it's down to 42.5 at this point, but I just expect a ton of under money, so I don't think it's going to stop anytime soon.
Yeah, so I think capping that at 47 would be very disingenuous at this point. I'm guessing this is going to be close to the 30s by game time because the forecast, basically, it's going to start snowing in Buffalo sometime on Friday, and it is going to.
You're optimistic because the weather forecast has snow starting tomorrow.
Oh, really? Well, I'm looking at showers on Wednesday with a
rain to snow Thursday morning or Wednesday night is 1 to 3 inches of snow.
All right, so then you got the snow really starting in earnest on Friday, and it'll snow all day Saturday, and it is going to snow in the morning on Sunday. So hopefully the field will be cleared. They won't be playing in a blizzard. However, wind's still going to be blowing out of the west at 18.
Yeah, obviously, it's playing down by the tunnel. The wind is always a bigger factor. It can be. It's a hostile environment.
Yes, it is. What I'm looking at, though, is I'm looking at that wind that's going to be 18 miles an hour coming out of the west. And if it does sit north-south, and I will have an answer. I don't care about the snow as far as the under goes, but I do care about the wind. So my advice, as soon as you hear the sound of my voice, pounce on the under because it's as low as it's going to be. So as far as the game goes, this Browns rushing defense has all of a sudden kind of fallen off the cliff. Miami running backs averaged over 7 yards per carry. Did Jeff Wilson and who's it's Mostert, yeah, the other San Francisco running back. Bills top 10 in rushing. Wow, read that again. Bills top 10 in rushing. Browns pass rush has been inconsistent, man. They recorded 0 sacks against Tua last week. I think the Bills get out to an early lead here and make Jacoby Brissett throw the ball more. That's not his game, and with the conditions like they're going to be, that's really not his game. I think the Bills rebound and get the cover.
I'm going to take the Bills as well. I think the Browns are just a terrible football team, and I've been along them all year. I know they've been using a backup as their starter with Brissett because Deshaun Watson is still being suspended, but I do think since the Bills kind of sprinkled with the ground game last week, I know Singletary had a couple touchdowns. We know Josh Allen can run. He had a pretty long run and a decent amount of rushing yards against the Jets a couple weeks ago. I just think they have a couple of weapons that are going to be difficult for the Browns to contain. They've been good against the run this season defensively. Besides the one massively long run by Cook last week that kind of kept him in check as well. I think if they can do whatever they can against Chubb, the Browns don't exactly scare you in any other way, and defensively they're a train wreck. So I'm going to go with the Bills here. They lost the heartbreaker to Minnesota. I think it's a nice bounce-back spot for them. Give me the Bills at home.
Yeah, just to point out what the weather forecast is, it's supposed to be a high of 28 on Sunday. So
that sounds pleasant.
Make sure you're either drunk or well bundled up when you go to the stadium. Everybody knows that you're going to have people jumping through tables anyway. Still waiting to see Rocky do that. But let's face it, like we said, if Buffalo can contain Nick Chubb and make the Browns a one-dimensional offense, nobody's scared of Donovan Peoples-Jones or Amari Cooper or Harrison Bryant or the ghost of Kevin Mack or the ghost of Ernest Biner or Webster Slaughter.
Once again, I think those people are all still alive.
Not in football, they're not.
They have a better chance at being dead than Greg Jennings. I'm just going to throw it out there.
There you go. That works too. But no, I think you're right. I think Buffalo, they're going to run the ball early. I don't know why they abandoned it in the second half. And that's been a problem the last couple of games. They've gone away from the run when it's been successful, and they don't kill enough clock. I think maybe they'll learn from their mistakes here. I think Buffalo's going to win the game by double digits. And like we've been talking about, if you don't know about our picks, make sure you check the link above and pick up all the bets that Scott and I have this weekend. like we said, if you just want to get my picks and you don't want to deal with the guy with the bad hair over there, it'd be $15. If you get both of our picks for the whole weekend, it's $25. But don't miss out. Take advantage.
I got a date for you there, Steehn. December 8th,
My wife will be pissed.
2013. December 8th, 2013.
Are you going to bring
Vikings
up the Colts
versus the
game?
Ravens. Vikings-Ravens, snow game. 55 total points. That's why I want the over. I see them running the ball a lot, being a little slippery guys out there, not able to get tackled. Lots of scoring, lots of running. I think the Browns, with their great run game, Nick Chubb going to break about 20 tackles in this game, keeps the game close. I don't know if they win, but I like Browns, and I want the over.
I wish I'd have been smart enough to hop on the under when it was 47, because there would have been a great middle opportunity. Because you're gonna get a 7-point middle right there.
I can't believe that was 2013, by the way. The Flacco game that had like 35 points in the final 5 minutes. That was 2013.
Mm-hmm.
I can't believe that was 9 years ago. Okay, fair enough.
The counterbalance to that, Rock, is the December 10th, 2017 game in this same stadium when the Bills played the Colts in a snowstorm. Final score in that game, 13-7 in overtime.
Yeah. So yeah, you just gotta take what do you believe in this time?
So you've got the over, right, Rock?
I got the over.
All right, very good. Anything else you want to say?
Michaela S., if you're watching this, I miss you.
Hey, let's finish up this segment with a game I know everybody's excited about as the Commanders travel down to Houston to take on the Texans. Commanders 2.5-point road favors. Number in that one is 40.5. You know what impressed me last game with the Commanders and the Eagles? It was the defense. It was the defense of the Commanders. Now, Philadelphia, a notoriously slow starting team. Lot of value there to be had playing against them in the first half, but they were able to put the reins on them in the second half as well. They've given up 17 points per game over their last 5. They haven't given up more than 21 in any of those games in that stretch. And surprisingly, it kind of coincides with Heinicke coming back to the team as well, or coming back to the starting position, I should say. He never left the team. But they are 4-0-1 against the number in that stretch. Houston, well, they kind of make a career out of just screwing me whenever I think I have a read on them. So tread lightly on this one. And it probably won't be part of my package. I'm just going to tell you that right now. But I'm going to take the Commanders minus 2.5.
So I'm going to agree with you. The one thing that impressed me in Monday Night Football was actually Washington's ability to run the ball. Against the Eagles, they dominate time possession, which is a problem for Houston because they can't stop the run. So I do think that Washington should look pretty decent offensively with the balance. And I believe, in the words of Rocky, Taylor Heinicke and Zach Wilson might have something in common because they both got that dog in them. Seems like Taylor Heinicke is really pretty good at embracing an underdog role. He's kind of brought some life to this overall offense, and I like how Robinson Jr. and Gibson have been good at running the ball together. I'm going to go with the Commanders in this one. I think they'll dominate in the trenches. Give me the team that is suddenly clinging to playoff life over there in the NFC East.
I think you have to go with Washington here. Like you said, Heinicke has revitalized that offense. They dominated Philadelphia yesterday. Philadelphia turned the ball over a lot, and that's something they hadn't done all season. And you actually had a Terry McLaurin sighting because where the hell's he been all year? He had 8 catches for, 126 yards or something like that yesterday?
Yeah.
About time that somebody realized, hey, you know what? He's our number one receiver. Maybe we should throw him the friggin' ball. Houston, like Rachel said, they can't stop the run. They've been gouged repeatedly. They couldn't slow down the Giants last week. I feel bad for Dameon Pierce. You know, he's probably one of the front runners for Rookie of the Year. At least he's the best rookie running back there is in the league, and it doesn't matter because the rest of the team sucks. I'm surprised the line's only 2.5. I think Washington's probably going to win this one by 10. They also get Chase Young back off IR this week, which is going to help that defense.
And
I feel bad for Davis Mills.
The funny thing about it is, Chase Young could have gone last night, but they hadn't been practicing because of the turf situation. But
right.
They this is a team that I think they're ready to make a move. I really do. I really think the Commanders have a shot at a wild card. You know, obviously the Eagles kind of have that still put away with just the one loss, but I don't know. I like watching that team play last night. I wouldn't be surprised to see him sneak in.
The Commanders are the most unlikable thing since Kid Cuisine. It pisses me off that every single time they do something like sexually harass an employee, they get like Ron Rivera as their coach. Then they like build a terrible stadium, and then Brian Robinson gets shot and is like awesome.
It's a yin and a yang.
You trade for Carson Wentz as if Taylor Heineke wasn't the best quarterback in the 2020 playoffs, and then you don't even play him until Carson Wentz gets hurt, and now all of a sudden they're like surprised that he's good. So they're annoying, but they're on the upswing, as you said, yin and yang. They're finally like doing well. They have a few games in them before they're gonna crash back down to disaster, and I like the Commanders in this one. Once again, if you want to see what Chris and Steehn have to say, check out the link. Take you straight there. $25 for both their picks. And we're going to take a break. We'll be right back after this.
You're firing me?
Oh, I'm not firing you. Yet.
Okay, basically.
I'm taking away your play calling duties, your game planning, your personnel decisions, and I'm replacing your key card with one with restricted access.
That's basically being fired.
You should be happy you have a job. You think somebody else is going to hire you? You're a sub-500 coach, even with Patrick Mahomes and Kyler Murray.
I just beat the Rams.
Sorry, I thought I just heard someone say the Rams were good.
Hey, Kyler. Hey, I know it's in your contract that I don't interrupt you while you're gaming, but I have news. Kyler. Hey, buddy? Kyler? What the nuts? Kyler would never leave his Call of Duty on like this. His KD ratio is getting tanked. I gotta get to the bottom of this. Hey, Kyler.
Hey, Coach.
Kyler.
Hey, Coach.
Kyler? You in there, buddy?
Yeah. Please help me.
Did you fall in the toilet again?
Yeah.
Did you use the little seat I put in there for you?
No.
Kyler, that's your problem. If you're not using the little seat I gave you, you're gonna slip in, I'm telling you.
I know, but JJ and D-Hop keep making fun of me. They keep calling me Kyler Toddler.
I don't even get the pun.
Hey, Coach. Did you happen to see if I left my Call of Duty in the middle of a game, or did I back out to the lobby?
No, you're still in the game.
Oh, no.
Gotta tell you, man, your KD's looking horrible.
Today's going so bad.
I'm sorry, buddy. Here, let me help you get out. My card will... Hey, Kyler.
Yeah, Coach?
I think you're on your own, buddy. You crying in there?
No. I hate the new Modern Warfare, and nobody believes me.
Okay, Judy, send in the first ones! Okay, gentlemen, lady, let's get down to business. I'm a very busy man. So, you guys want to be flexed to Sunday Night Football in Week 13, and you want to replace Dallas versus Indy?
Yes, sir. We've got a young, hot team. We've had the lead in every single game except for one, and only one game has been decided by more than one score. We're this close to being a real contender in the AFC South, and we have one of the youngest, best quarterbacks in the league.
Really? Well, maybe you should start playing him instead of having him be the host of Once Upon a Time in Las Vegas. Then maybe you can win some of those close games. Am I right? And you, Jingles, what's your story, Morning Glory?
Commissioner, as you know, America fell in love with the Lions and their fiery head coach Dan Campbell this year on Hard Knocks.
Did they though? Did they?
You bet. We're the perfect mix of youth and veterans. America can't get enough of us.
Is that right? Then let me ask you, why do you think the Lions always play the early game on Thanksgiving?
tradition.
Yes, a tradition of putting the game on before they eat. Otherwise, all the tryptophan mixed with the Lions football health ain't going to be a sleep till Christmas. Hard pass. Now, thanks for coming in, boys and girls. Feel free to take a dum-dum from the bowl on the way out. Just please take one, though I'm not made of money. Seriously? You guys are just trolling me, right? Get out of here, and no dum-dums for you too. Jenny, make sure that these two bozos don't get any dum-dums. Jenny, who's next?
Raiders and Steelers.
Oh, good grief, is it 1972?
No, it's not.
That was rhetorical, Jenny! Tell him I'm out of here! Tell him I'm dead! That'll be the ultimate immaculate deception! Ooh, now let's see what Mama packed for lunch today! Cured ham with the crust cut up! Oh, and Cheetos! Everything's coming up Roger today!
All right, everybody, welcome back. I hope you guys enjoyed those sketches that Rocky and I put together every week. We have a little bit of fun as we talk about the games, and now we're going to talk about some more games up there in the AFC East Division as the suddenly second-seeded Jets travel to Foxborough to take on the Patriots. Patriots 3-point favorites, 38.5 is the number. Anybody got the Weather Channel still up? You're going to have weather in this one, too?
I'll pull it up here. Hold on.
All right. Well, here's the deal. And I'm not sure it's really going to affect my cap about what the weather is because neither one of these teams wants to throw the ball. They are always looking for excuses not to get their quarterback involved in the decision-making process. The Pats, they can't throw the ball. They've thrown for more than 200 yards just one time in the last 7 games. Yikes. Who misses Brady? The Jets, well, they're not a ton better as they've done it just once in the last 5 games. And they did it against New England when they were basically playing the prevent defense and they were just unable to run the football. So they had to throw there. So that's the way that worked out. And they end up doing okay there. But the Jets, they are about middle of the pack as far as pace goes. New England down at 24th in pace. I think this one stays under the total of 38.5. I'm looking forward to watching this game. And it could go really either way on the side goes, but I do like the total. I do like the under 38.5 there.
And just to answer your question, not to interrupt you, Rachel, just to give you an update on the weather, Scott, not a factor. 42 degrees is supposed to be the high.
So it's all it's basically all just lake effect snow coming off of Lake Erie there, huh?
Yeah, pretty much.
All right, very good. Hey, and if you guys, if you know that I don't like the side in this one, but if you want to find out some of the sides and totals that I do like this week, make sure and check out this week's special. It's right up there, everybody. Just click on it; you'll find out all the details. Basically, here's a good chunk of the details. You can get my picks for $15. You can get Chris's picks for $15. That's all of our college football, all of our pro football. Or you can get the buddy pack. You can get each of our picks for just $25. Nice thing about those, both of us put out a ton of picks. I put out 8-9 picks a day. I know Chris puts out a ton of picks. So you have the ability to sort through. And if you don't like some of them, you're like, well, those guys are drunk. Well, there's a possibility you could be right. But you don't like a pick, you throw it out. You're still getting great value. So make sure you check out that deal. And don't forget to drop us a comment. Put a comment in the comment section. Everybody that drops us a comment has an opportunity to win a $100 gift card. We do the drawing every Thursday. Me and Rocky, we're going to do it again this week. So make sure you check it out. See if you will be winning for your comment. There you go. Scotty?
For this one, I'm going to go with the Patriots. As a Jets fan, I can confirm they can never beat the Patriots, ever. It just doesn't work out. They played earlier this year. New England won. It was a game where Zach Wilson looked awful against a Belichick defense. What else is new? I don't see that changing much. The Jets, I do think, have been a very pleasant surprise. The issue is I still don't trust Wilson. It seems like they're winning in spite of him most of the time. I'm not a fan of Mac Jones either, but I do think that New England can really make life difficult for the young quarterback. Until I see Wilson actually face some adversity against New England and thrive in that situation, I'm not going to pick him. I'm going to go with the Patriots in Foxborough. Crowd will be into it. Give me New England.
I agree with you guys. I think you have to go with New England here. Like Rachel said, Bill Belichick has had the Jets number ever since, he wrote "I quit" on a cocktail napkin and left. Let's face it. I agree. Zach Wilson, the Jets have won in spite of him. He played probably his best game of his career in the win against Buffalo a couple weeks ago. Can you count on him to do that consistently at this point? Probably not. We know that Belichick likes to torment young quarterbacks with his defensive systems. And I think that that's going to get the upper hand. I also agree with Steehn. I don't think this is going to be a high-scoring game at all. If somebody gets to 20 points, you might have a party. But in the end, New England will win a slugfest. I'm going to go 19-14.
The last time the Jets swept the Patriots in the regular season, the year was 2000. They're not going to do it again because it's the Patriots with Bill Belichick. Vinny Testaverde was the quarterback in 2000. They're not going to do it with Zach Wilson. Patriots win.
They can't do it. They lost the first meeting.
They lost the first game.
The Patriots are not going to sweep the Jets. The Jets are going to win this game with Zach Wilson.
Oh.
Because of Vinny Testaverde.
All right, guys, we're going to take a look at the Lions and Giants. Oh my! This game is in the Meadowlands. Giants 3.5-point home favorites. 46 is the number. This is one of those numbers that just seem really suspicious to me. 3.5, really? I know the Lions had a nice come from behind win last week against the Bears, but come on, the Giants are not the Bears. This defense from the Lions, you've heard us talk about it. They are dreadful. They're last in points allowed. They're 31st in rushing yards per game allowed, 30th in yards per carry allowed. Fun fact, they're also dead last in passing yards per attempt allowed. It is hard to get much worse than that. It really is. I think if Danny Dimes doesn't throw a pick six in this one, and they might need to throw 2 for them not to be okay. Give me the Giants, -3.5. Are you kidding me?
I don't know. This line seems extremely trappy to me. And I'll tell you what, it's the hook that's really throwing me off. If it was 3, maybe I'd consider it. I kind of like the Lions in this spot here. The Giants had a win against the Texans. Congrats, I guess. But the Lions are, what are they, surging? They've won, 2 straight at the moment? What is that, franchise record for the last, 4 years? They've won 2 straight games. But I'm going to lean to the Lions
4
here.
years, maybe longer than that.
Both teams aren't good against the run, but the Lions are slowly kind of getting Swift back into getting a decently large role in the offense. Williams has been good. Amon-Ra St. Brown was good. They had a nice win, though, against the Bears last week. Came from behind there. I don't really feel great about this game either, but I'm going to lean to the Lions.
I've got to go with the Giants here. I mean, Steehn pointed out quite well that the Lions are terrible when it comes to stopping the run. They gave up 258 yards on the ground to the Bears last week. The third time they've given up at least 200 yards rushing this season. They've given up less than 100 just once, and that was against the Commanders back in week 2. I don't see them stopping Saquon Barkley. And talking about mobile quarterbacks, we've seen Daniel Jones do a decent job running the ball this season as well. Sure, the Lions have won 2 straight games. They beat a couple of flawed teams in the Packers and the Bears. So, at least on the bright side, they beat division opponents, so they won't be worst in the NFC North. But going on the road, I mean, come on, last week was Dan Campbell's first road win as a head coach. I don't see him making it 2 in a row. I get the fact that 3.5 seems a little tricky, but hey, when you win 2 in a row, that's what happens. They narrow the line on you. I'm going to take the Giants anyway. I think they win this one by at least a touchdown.
That's embarrassing, by the way. First road win? Really? That's just embarrassing.
After listening to Reichel, I kind of, because I pointed it out about the line looks weird, smells trappy, a little fishy. I'm gonna play it anyway. I feel like the fish swimming around the gigantic bass is looking at the worm going, wonder why that has a hook through it. That seems weird. Oh man, remember Dave last week when he bit that worm and they just got yanked out of there? Well, whatever. I'm gonna go ahead and have a little snack. That's the way I feel betting this game. I really do. So I hope it comes out well for us, Chris. Sorry. Go ahead, Rock.
I got a Rockies proppy for you. Saquon Barkley, 160 yards, 2 touchdowns. They're going to destroy the Lions. The Lions are going to try and keep up, and maybe they'll like a try, but they're not going to do it. The Giants are going to win.
All right. Last game of this block is going to be the Rams and the Saints. I know it's just me. It seems like these teams play like every other week, and I know they haven't played yet this season, but it seems like, I guess it's just teams you thought were going to be better than they are playing each other, and we certainly have at least 2 or 3 of those every week, and this is another one. Rams probably not going to make the playoffs. There's your world champions against the Saints. They're the NFC South, so Sure, they could win the division. Why not? They're 3-point home favorites. 39 is your total here. We talked about teams that want to run the ball. Neither of these teams can run the ball worth a tinker's damn. But the Rams, they have struggled against the pass lately. I don't trust either team here. I think this line is pretty right on. I don't want to get involved with the total at 39. It should stay under, but it's 39. You get a muffed punt or you get an interception, pick six, fumble recovery, and you're screwed there. I'll take the Saints minus the 3.
I want to fade both teams because they both stink, but that's why I'm going to take the under in this one. I think at the end of the day, you're going to be looking at a spot where now Cooper Kupp's hurt. He was the only good thing that the Rams had going for their offense, and now he's done. So I do think if you're looking at the weapons that both teams have, the Saints have more weapons, so I'd probably lean that way. But I like the under. I don't trust Andy Dalton. I'm surprised they're still using him. Even let Taysom Hill get some snaps at quarterback. Try something. But either way, the Rams are just completely cooked at this point. I see this being an ugly game, a low-scoring game. Give me the Saints somewhere around 20 to 13 or something. But the Rams can't do anything well offensively. So I'm going to take the under. And I don't even know if Stafford's going to play. So I'm going to go with the under.
I mean, at this point, does it matter if Stafford plays without Cooper Kupp? I mean, who are you going to look to? Ben Skoranek is your number one receiver now?
Allen Robinson.
Returning Van Jefferson? The ghost of Allen Robinson? I saw him on a milk carton earlier this season. Your best option in the passing game is probably Tyler Higbee. And, he's not going to give you big chunk plays by any stretch. New Orleans, we've seen the issues they have at quarterback. Can they get Archie Manning out of retirement? Couldn't be any worse than what we've seen from the Red Rifle and Jameis Winston. Heck, John Forcade's probably available, or Bobby Hebert. Get one of them. In the end, though, I think Kamara, and if Ingram plays, because obviously he didn't play last week, but Kamara should be enough, whether Stafford plays or not, for the Saints to get the win at home. I don't see a ton of points there either. The Rams, the fourth worst scoring offense in the league.
That was with Kupp.
Yeah.
And that was with Kupp, yeah.
Like you said, they took away the best target they had. So if this is another one of those games where if somebody gets to 20 points, it might be Mardi Gras in New Orleans. And now Steve's
Every
gone.
day I wake up and I pray that I never have to watch Andy Dalton throw a ball again. And I can't wait until the day when I watch Andy Dalton throw his last pass. Play Jameis Winston. How many times have I said that? Play him. It's so bad. I don't want to watch him throw the ball anymore. If you're going to have somebody be terrible, have somebody throws it 40 yards down the field, 60 yards, 70 yards down the field. I don't care. At least give your team a chance. Meanwhile, Sean McVay looks at every single game exactly how Pete Carroll looked when when Russell Wilson audibled to a interception at the 1 yard line. Blah, blah, blah. He just looks shocked. Sean McVay has watched his team crumble into oblivion. I'm taking the Saints. If Jameis Winston plays, if he doesn't play, then I refuse to watch this game, and you all should too. And don't forget, if you're looking for a good deal with some smart guys telling you their picks, use the link. It's $25. Chris and Steen's all their picks. We only do NFL here on the show, so if you want to see what they have to say about the college football, check it out. And now we're going to take another break. Sit back, relax, get yourself some popcorn, have a good time. Well, first of all, I want to thank you for seeing me today. I know you are a busy man.
Never too busy for a constituency. Mike, I don't keep up with the trends. Are talking turkeys a thing now, or did you change my meds again?
No, sir. Turkeys do not talk, and we have not changed your meds since the day after your Philly speech.
I see. Well, first of all, what's your name? Let me guess. Is it TM Turkey?
It's Tim, actually, and it's pronounced 2RK.
Well, Mr. Tim Turkey. Excuse me, Mr. Tim 2RK. What can I do for you?
Well, since Thanksgiving's coming up, I know you pardon a turkey every year, so this year I want that turkey to be me.
I see. Really need that pardon, huh?
Yes, sir. I was totally railroaded. The witnesses were lying, and the judge was paid off, and I'm pretty sure somebody got to the jury.
Mike, what are we doing here? Is Mr. 2RK guilty of a crime?
Yes, sir, quite a few, actually. Mail fraud, wire fraud, embezzlement, witness tampering, resisting arrest, and impersonating an eagle.
Wow, Tim, you really tried to feather your nest. Nothing, Tim. I actually thought that was really funny. There's a lot of things to consider, like, did any of the investors actually lose any money?
Oh yeah, billions. It was a complete Ponzi scheme.
But just fat cats, right? Hedge fund managers, bankers, that sort of thing?
Well, of course, except for a few pension funds, IRA accounts, and college saving accounts.
Well, that sounds problematic.
Yes, sir. This guy's a real scumbag. Do it, scumbag! Take one more step and I'll send you to the trash with the uneaten cranberry sauce.
That stuff is terrible. You know what I like? I like the canned stuff. I know, the old cans you get back in Delaware, they still got the ridges on it. Man, that's the good stuff. Some canned stuff for Joe, please.
Yes, sir. The real stuff is the worst. Way too sour.
Exactly. Who eats that stuff?
Sir?
Right, Tim. It's not looking good. Mike, how are his votes?
Let's see. Bush, McCain, Romney, Johnson, Trump, Johnson.
That's a shame. Tim, thanks for stopping by. We'll let you know. Mike, would you please show Mr. 2RK the door?
With pleasure. Let's go, you feathered freak.
You better not lay a finger on a single one of my beautiful feathers, or I swear to Butterball, I'll sue every...
Gosh, that was weird, huh?
Yes, sir. Very weird.
Can you imagine the drumsticks on that bastard, though? Probably 20 pounds apiece. Easy.
Yes, sir. I'll make sure he doesn't leave the building. We got a 160-pound juicy turkey coming down the stairs at the West Wing. Make sure he does not see the light of day.
An especially tricky time for new homeowners trying not to become like their parents is watching NFL games. Oh, good grief. You've got to establish the run before you can pass. What are they doing? This is a passing league now. Nobody's running the single wing.
Oh! Are you kidding me? How is that roughing the passer? This is football!
Yeah, man up. Concussions are a part of life.
Freaking wusses these days.
That quarterback makes $48 million for a reason. Nobody wants to watch Colt McCoy versus John Wolford.
4th and 1 and we're going for it in the first quarter? Bro, Hackett's gots to go.
Based on the analytics, it's the right thing to do. From your opponent's 45-yard line, it's a plus EV play every time.
Bro, EV, what the hell is EV?
Anna who? We've got so much work to do. Anna Karenina? Anna Kendrick? Anna Wintour? Anne of Green Gables?
Come on. I don't even know what a catch is anymore.
I'm with you there.
All right, everybody, welcome back. Hopefully you're having fun and learning a little bit of something. We're a little better than halfway through. And, of course, don't forget our friends over there at nohouseadvantage.com. Check it out. Download the app. Make that deposit. Use the code W&W. And, of course, don't forget to comment. Drop us a comment. You could be $100 richer, yo. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you drop us a comment. We'll do the drawing live on Thursday. You could be the winner. So let's talk about little Bears and a little bit of Falcons, shall we? Bears headed down to the Mercedes Dome. Falcons, home favorites of 3 points. 50 is the total. I don't blame them because both of these defenses are terrible. Falcons, in particular, have really struggled against the run in their 2 recent games against Carolina. And the Bears, well, try this on for size. They've rushed for 238 or more yards in their last 5 in a row. Most of that, who is it? Well, it ain't the running backs, but no matter. They're getting it done on the ground. I think the Bears come in there and steal one. I'll take the Bears. Give me 3 points. Sure, I'll take them straight up. I don't care. Bears roar. Show us a roar, Daddy.
I find this game pretty tricky because even though Justin Fields has been really good for the past month or so, they haven't won a game. So it really hasn't mattered in the win-loss column. Atlanta's also having a couple extra days of prep because they played on Thursday night. But I think I'm going to agree with you. I think I'm going to take Chicago. At least I trust their offense enough. Chicago's offense has been kind of playing really well lately. And Atlanta, they've been okay. The issue is they still don't use London and Pitts enough. And I think that if you'll end up seeing Chicago at least somewhat limit the ground game, I do think that Atlanta doesn't exactly have a plan B. And I think that it's going to be the issue for them. Chicago's good enough to apparently match other teams offensively. And defensively, they're not good, but I do think they can be decent enough to limit Mariota, who I think we'd all agree got exposed on Thursday night last week. I'll agree with you. I'll take Chicago. I think they'll score enough to keep this game close.
Well, I mean, let's be fair. The Falcons have a plan B. It's just called punt. Because,
okay, fair enough.
If they can't run the ball, if Patterson doesn't get going, if Algier doesn't get going, or Huntley, or Avery Williams, or Steve Broussard, whoever they're going to put back there, it doesn't matter. And you talk about the Bears, like Steehn said, they've run for at least 238 in 5 straight games. And, Khalil Herbert, a guy that nobody really gave any credence to coming into the year, he's run for 643 yards and averages 6 yards a carry. He's almost turned it into a timeshare with Montgomery because Montgomery has 115 carries, Herbert has 108, Fields has 104. You're looking at a team that's averaging better than 200 yards a game on the ground this season. When you can run the ball that well, you don't have to worry about throwing it all that much, which is probably why Fields has 104 rushing attempts compared to 207 passes. I don't trust Atlanta. I mean, like Steehn said, they were exposed by Carolina. When Donta Foreman goes for over 100 yards twice in the span of 3 weeks, you have problems. I think the Bears are going to win this one outright, but like Steehn said, I'll take the points as a bonus.
There you go. That's the thing about going into last week's game, and I don't know how it shut down after last Sunday's action, but going into last Sunday's games, Justin Fields was the top-rated quarterback over the last 5 weeks. So it's a double hit. Not only are they running for a lot, Fields is playing great football, but they're still not winning. So, yeah, I think that they get off that this week. Sorry, go ahead, Rock.
Yeah, the Bears have been playing teams that could keep up with them because the Bears' defense is terrible. Unfortunately for the Falcons, their offense is also terrible. If you shut down the run offense, Falcons aren't going to do anything. As Chris said, they are going to punt. It'll be plan B. Can't talk anymore. It'll be plan B the whole game. Bears, easy. I think they're going to run another 200-yard game and
they're going to go to plan P. It's plan punt. Very good. All right. What do we got next? I'm sure it's another barn burner. Oh boy, it is. Here's the one everybody's been waiting for. The rematch of the century. It's the battle for, not quite supremacy in the AFC West. It's the Raiders. It's the Broncos. Broncos are favored because, somebody has to be. 2.5-point home favorites are the Broncos. 41.5 is the total. This Raiders defense, they didn't start great, and now they are leaking oil. They're 28th in the league in scoring defense. They haven't given up less than 20 points all year. Let that sink in. Broncos, here's a fun fact about the Broncos, by the way. If they would have scored 18 points or more in every game, they'd be 8-1 right now. How's that for fun? They still can't run, but you know what? Second half Russ, showed a couple signs of starting to cook there, baby. This Broncos defense, so far they've wasted them because they're number 1 in the league in scoring defense. Not a combination you see often, by the way. Broncos number 1 in scoring defense, last in the league in scoring offense. Surprisingly, they've been an under machine all year long. Go figure. I know I played the under this the first time these two teams met, and it didn't work out. So I'm going to stay away from it. I'll take the Broncos side. Give me Denver minus the 2.5.
So I think McDaniels is an awful coach, and I know for a fact that Hackett's a terrible coach. They kind of cancel each other out. The Broncos shouldn't be favored against anybody. I know the Raiders are awful. They lost to a new head coach off the street in Jeff Saturday, but I think I'm going to lean to the Raiders here. It's a complete stay away, I think, in my eyes. It's definitely not a game I'm looking forward to either watching or betting, but on principle, I can't bet Denver when they can't even reach 17 points in any given game. I'm going to lean to the Raiders. I don't feel great about it. I'm hoping Derek Carr's crying press conference maybe woke up the team a little bit. Give me the Raiders. I just can't lay points with Hackett and Russell Wilson. I can't do it.
Chris?
I've got to agree with Rachel. You got to back the Raiders here. Like you said, if Denver could score points, they'd be 8-1. Unfortunately, the one game they would have lost in that stretch, if they had scored 18 points, would have still been to the Raiders. You look back in that first meeting, and you watch Josh Jacobs actually look motivated. He ran for 144 yards and had 2 scores in that game. Which
the Raiders actually won.
Yeah, 32-23 in that contest.
Yeah.
But, you talk about watching Wilson cook. Judy hurt his ankle. I guess an MRI said that he's not going to miss extended time. But you look at the numbers for Denver, and in the third leading receiver in receiving yards is rookie tight end Greg Dulcich, who's played 4 games. They can't run the ball. Melvin Gordon, 3.5 yards a carry. Murray's only averaged 3.5 since he's been there. Wilson's only averaging 3.8. Now, we know the Raiders aren't a great defense. Max Crosby's been apologizing to people on Twitter. But in the end, I think that the Raiders, actually have a semblance of offense, and we know Denver doesn't. So I'm going to take the Raiders here and the points. I don't expect it to be quite as high scoring as we saw last time. I don't think we're going to see 55 points. But, if you want to find out more about what I think about this game or any of the other games on the schedule or the college football schedule, you can get mine and Steen's picks at the link above. Take advantage of that opportunity because, like Scott said earlier, we both put out a lot of picks, which gives you plenty of options to choose from when it comes down to making your bets.
Yep, absolutely right, Chris. When you're paying, like $50 or $100 a pick or something like that, you're kind of obligated to take it. But when you're getting a whole bucket full of picks on both Saturday and Sunday, you do have the opportunity, like I said, to call some of them, not to play, to pass. So there you go, Rocky.
Yeah, and then you can round robin the other ones if you want, or anything else.
There you go. Ooh, round robin, good times. Rocky.
It's hard to say that any other team is more injured than the Raiders right now, but that would be the Broncos. Their offensive line is in shambles. Their wide receiver 1 is like an Eggo French toaster stick, and it's terrible. Everything about this is terrible. Josh McDaniels is apparently coming back for 2023, which just means that they're going to move on from Derek Carr and take CJ Stroud. So I don't like any of it, but I would take the Raiders because why would you ever bet on the Broncos this season?
As a favorite, especially. I just think that's absurd.
Yeah.
All right. Very good. And we're going to throw a curveball for all the people that go through and are looking for this game to be the second to the last one that we do. We're going to throw you a curveball because we go in rotation number. So even though this is the Sunday night game, it's going to go right here. And it's the Kansas City Chiefs heading on the road to take on the Los Angeles Chargers. Chiefs, 7-point road favorites. 49.5 is the number. The last 4 times these teams have played, they've all been 1-score games. They traditionally know each other very well, regardless of the records, regardless of the momentum. These teams generally seem to play close games. It's almost always a grind. I don't think this one gets any bit different. I like the Chargers here, catching 7 from the Chiefs.
I personally disagree with you. I think the Chargers are not a very good football team. And it's not even their fault. They just have too many injuries. They're missing key personnel at basically every single position group. Bosa's out indefinitely. Mike Williams out indefinitely. Is Keenan Allen still alive? I don't know. But I don't know if he's going to play in this game. They're still missing J.C. Jackson. They're still missing a bunch of just other pieces on the offensive line as well. I know they gave it a good effort on Sunday Night Football against the 49ers before things totally fell apart. They scored no points in the second half. I just really don't like the Chargers roster right now because a lot of key pieces are hurt. The Chiefs have so many weapons. I know Juju got hurt, so I'm not sure if he's going to play or not. But Mahomes is Mahomes. Right now is the favorite to win MVP. I think he'll do whatever he wants against this defense. And I think that you'll see the Chiefs win comfortably because I really don't know what the Chargers do well at right now when they have basically no wide receivers.
Yeah, that's been the big issue for the Chargers. I mean, you're throwing to, Josh Palmer and
Carter.
Yeah, Carter and Bandy is in there now too. But there's not a whole lot of depth there. As of right now, Allen and Williams are both marked as questionable as of Tuesday when we're doing this. So is Gerald Everett, who tweaked his groin. You have to wonder if the Chargers can generate enough offense with these missing pieces. They seem to have forgotten that Austin Eckler was on the field on Sunday night against the 49ers. I think he only ran the ball, 6 times in the game for 24 yards. He caught 7 passes, but when they got down to the red zone, they forgot to throw it to him because they decided they were just going to try to force it or let Herbert run himself. And we saw Herbert nearly get killed by Dre Greenlaw right before halftime in that game. I think that you're right. I think the Chiefs, even with Schuster banged up and Hardman banged up, I think the Chiefs are going to have enough weapons that they can pull this one out. My question to Steehn is, have we seen the end of Clyde Edwards-Helaire? I mean, he barely played the other day, and Pacheco ended up getting the majority of the snaps.
Well,
is Edwards-Helaire going to go the way of Ronald Jones?
I would have said yes, except now McKinnon is banged up. So we'll see if McKinnon plays. If McKinnon plays, yeah, he's done. I think that was their plan, to phase him out. I mean, I don't think that there's no other way you can interpret him getting. I think he got just 6 snaps in the game there on Sunday. So that would appear to be the case. They're going to move on from CEH as long as McKinnon is healthy. And I don't know if you guys saw the little clip on Twitter of McKinnon picking up not 1 but 2 blitzing rushers. Pretty impressive. And if you guys have heard me before talk about the Chiefs and talk about the running back situation, I've made one thing very clear, and it's that you don't play running back in the Kansas City offense unless you can block. So I think regardless of how Helaire has performed, and he's no question he's underperformed as far as a running back goes, not a great blocker, and nothing will get you in the doghouse with Andy quicker than not being able to pass block as a running back.
Yeah, Steehn, the Chargers and Chiefs have always been close in terms of game points. Except usually that's when the Chargers have been good. I see the Chiefs only going up from this season, from the rest of the season. And I see the Chargers only going down. They have looked terrible. They looked terrible against the 49ers. And so yeah, I think it's not even gonna be close. I got the Chiefs in this one.
All right, very
Chiefs
good.
by 20. There's a Rockies proppy. Chiefs by 20.
There's a Rockies proppy for you. All right, I'm just telling you guys, I've seen this movie before. I know how it looks on paper. I've just watched it too many times, and that's what makes this show fun. Everybody gets to hear different opinions, and some of them are right, some of them are wrong. We're going to find out here in a few days who's on each side of the ledger. But before that, we're going to ask you to hang on one more time, take a look at this funny stuff that we've done, and then we'll be back to finish up our last 3 games.
I'm never gonna find a Josh Allen. Who's next?
Craig Rogers, represented by ICM.
Touchdown! Oh, Lord. So is the whole play happening in the backyard, or what? This isn't a backyard! This is the best playhouse in Buffalo!
Okay, Craig. Average Joe from just west of Fresno, starting at 16, when you're ready.
My name is Josh Allen. And just so you know, I grew up on a farm just west of Fresno, long before I was throwing NFL bombs. I was throwing baseballs and cantaloupes with equal aplomb. I'm sorry, are there 2 cats having sex somewhere? Excuse me? Cat sex, Craig! You! Steamy feline lovemaking! Making kittens! Ring a bell! I could do it again. I could do it in a British accent. Yes, Craig, you could! But Josh Allen isn't British! Then I also had to ram knitting needles into both of my ears so I could never hear whatever you call singing again! Next!
Hi. I just wanted to say that I saw Roids, a Sosa and Maguire love story, and it changed my life.
Whatever!
Okay, well, my name is Stephen Malloy. I'm with William Morris, but I prefer to be referred to as Josh or Big 17.
Great, Steven. Let's try 13 seconds from the top, please.
I've taken the lead, my destiny beckons. We've taken the lead, and there's just 13 seconds. I'm going to the Super Bowl to take home the crown. Oh crap, what just happened? Was that a first down?
Stop!
Down.
Great Gershwin's ghost, just stop!
Maybe if I warm up a little bit, it could smooth things out.
Oh, that's a great idea. Go find a big industrial-sized oven, turn it to 500 degrees, hop in there for an hour or so, then come back and give it another shot. Next!
Okay, well, you didn't have to be such a dick about it, but...
No, Steven, I don't have to, but I choose to. That's the kind of prerogative that comes with the title of the third most successful director in 378 miles off Broadway history. Next! Oh, great. This guy's wearing Bill's merchandise like it makes his acting any better. Where do you get these bozos?
Hi, I'm Josh Allen, and I'm with the CAA.
Wow, really getting into character. Let's try This Is Our Year.
Stop! Why are you here, Josh?
Well, I thought it sounded like fun, and I'm a big musical theater fan, and after all, I am Josh Allen.
Yeah, and I'm Lin-Manuel Miranda. He stole my idea, you know.
I swear it's really me. I mean, what do I gotta do to prove...
Oh my god. It really is Josh Allen.
I still don't see it. Next!
You guys suck! Damn it, that was supposed to hit him!
Wow, it really is you. So, look, I don't really think you're ready for the lead. How about the Nathan Peterman role?
Sure, I'm just happy to be a part.
Hi, I'm Nathan Peterman. I'll be reading for the role of Josh Allen.
Next!
All right, everybody, well, welcome back. This is the last 3-game segment of the show. We're going to start with the Cowboys Vikings. Before we do, I want to remind you guys, don't forget to drop that comment. Drop that comment in the comment section. You'll be part of the live drawing on Thursday. You could be $100 richer, have a little $100 gift card. You can go to dinner with the wife and surprise her. You whip out your wallet. You're like, you ain't got no money. Got $100 right there. There you go. So let's talk about Cowboys Vikings a little bit. Cowboys on the road, -1 over Skull Brothers. What's up with that? 47.5 is your total. You know, Dallas, that defense looked really good to start the season. They didn't give up more than 19 points their first 5 games. Now, all of a sudden, what the hell? They've given up 26 or more in 3 of their last 4. They gave up 447 yards total to the Bears and Packers on the ground. What the hey? I can't trust this Dallas defense all of a sudden. Vikings? I'm not fading the team of destiny right there in the crystal ship. Give me the Vikings on the money line. I also take the over 47.5. I think we're going to see some points scored in this game. Dallas offense still been able to put some points on the board. Vikings defense, inconsistent. How about that? I like the over 47.5 with a pretty good lean towards the Vikings. And you know what? You want to get more of my picks? You want to find out what I'm really on this weekend? College and the pros. Not just me, but my buddy Chris. Yeah, you can't judge us by our hair. If you're doing that, you wouldn't pay nothing. But you judge us by our picks. We're worth $25. $25 get you all of our college picks, all of our pro picks, all weekend long. Make sure you sign up. You got a little thing right there. See it? Sign up there. Okay? There you go. Rochelle, what do you got?
So, I agree with you on the over. I think you'll see points in this game. However, I mentioned with the Lions-Giants game, the line seems a bit trappy. I am a bit confused why the Cowboys are favored on the road against a team that has only 1 loss on the year. I think it's for a good reason. I'm going to lean to Dallas. I think that even though they couldn't really put the game away against Green Bay, they were up 14. They choked the game away at the end. I do think Dallas, though, is the more talented roster, and I don't think it's really close. I think that the Minnesota Vikings are a good story. Do I think Cousins is better than Dak Prescott? I don't know. I think you can have the argument. But I think supporting cast-wise, I do think Dallas has the better overall team. I'll take them as a result. Props to the Vikings for beating the Bills. Took a bit of a fluke there, but they got it done. I'm still going to go with the Cowboys. I think that this line is daring you to take the Vikings. I'm not going to do it. I'm going to take Dallas.
See, I'm going to agree with Steen. I'm going to go with the Vikings. I mean, I watched that game on Sunday from beginning to end. It's amazing how that game ended up on TV here. But, you know, I don't see who's going to cover Justin Jefferson. I don't trust Trevon Diggs because you look for all the interceptions he had last year, he got torched repeatedly. And if you make a mistake against Jefferson, he can turn a 5-yard gain into a 50-yard gain in the blink of an eye. We saw him, you know, basically win the game single-handedly for the Vikings.
Single-handedly? I see what you did there. That's nice.
There you go. He made some big plays. I don't know if you're going to see Elliott play. Everybody's talked about, you know, Pollard's not going to be the feature back for Dallas. I don't trust the Cowboys. I don't trust Prescott. I don't trust them on the road. For sure, they were up 14 in the fourth quarter against Green Bay. and they lost. They gave up 31 points to a Packers team that has been horrible on offense. I'm going to take the Vikings in this contest.
Yeah, Mike McCarthy walked into Lambeau looking like Coach Taylor walking into AT&T Stadium as if he had never been there before, and then he proceeded to coach like he had never been there before. Meanwhile, the Heart Attack kids are dominating in ways that they shouldn't be dominating. They are finding ways to win. I don't know why the Cowboys are favored either, but I also see it as a trap. But also, I can't fade the Vikings at their current state. They are good. They are winning games. They are winning games in weird ways. I like it. Vikings.
All right, let's talk a little bit about the. Is this the game that got? I guess this is the game that got flexed out, right? The Bengals, Steelers. Bengals are road favorites of 1.41 is the total right there. You know, every time you think this Cincinnati offensive line has finally fixed their problems and stopped giving up a ton of sacks, you find out they haven't. Nobody, only two teams have given up more sacks than Cincinnati, so they have improved a little bit. We know how bad this Pittsburgh offense is. I think they get enough sacks here to stall Cincinnati drives. I have no interest in getting involved on the side. You give me a total that starts with a 4 in this game. I think the Steelers defense is going to make life a living hell for Burrow and keep that offense under wraps. Give me the under 41.
I agree. That's going to be a lower scoring game. However, I actually do really like the Bengals in the spot. They're off a bye, so they have an extra week of prep there. Week 1 was the crazy overtime game with the blocked extra point and then a bunch of missed kicks in overtime. And I do think that after you saw the craziness in the first matchup, I like Cincinnati in the spot. The Steelers can't score. Yes, they won comfortably last week against Andy Dalton and the Saints. Congratulations. But Burrow, much better. They have good receivers. I do think Mixon, after his 5-touchdown game, will look pretty sharp here as well. It's really just about the Bengals being off a bye going into a division game. I like the extra prep time there, and the spread's very, very short for the much better team. I'm going to take the Bengals.
Yeah, see, I've got to agree with Rachel and go with the Bengals here. Even without Jamar Chase, I don't think he's going to be back this week. We're talking about a Pittsburgh team that isn't very good. You know, it makes you yearn for the days of Bubby Brister and Mark Malone under center if you're a Steelers fan, because let's face it, you haven't been impressed by Trubisky or Pickett. The bottom line, though, here is the Steelers, they're not great. Let's be honest. They got TJ Watt back. That's a plus. I think they're going to make life difficult for Burrow. I still think Cincinnati's got enough offensive weapons to win this game. And if you want to know more about this game or any of the other 12 games on the schedule or the 703 college football games, go up to the link right up there and pick up mine and Steen's picks for the weekend. I'm sure Steen's going to pick about 37 college games. I'll probably have, at least 12. And, then we've got the entire NFL slate. So how can you pass up that many picks for $25?
Yeah, TJ Watt is back. The Bengals offensive line still sucks. I think it is more likely that these two teams tie than the Bengals do win. So I'm leaning Steelers. 4 of the last 6 seasons, the AFC North has had a team with a tie. I think it's going to be 5 of 7. But if I had to pick one side, it would be the Steelers.
All right. Let's finish it up here, kids. Heading out west, where they call me Tex. The San Francisco 49ers heading to Glendale, take on the Cardinals. Niners, 8-point road favorites. 43.5 is the number. Well, I don't know if Kyler Murray is going to play in this one or not. This is something you got to keep an eye on the injury report. But honestly, I don't really care. Colt McCoy looked just fine against the Rams. 26 of 37, 238 yards. Had a QBR of 70.1. By the way, Kyler Murray's only had a QBR over 53 of his games so far this season, and none of them have been better than that 70.1 that Colt McCoy posted. So there you go. You know what? This is a division game. I'm getting more than a touchdown with the home team. Yeah, it might be a sucker play, but I got to go with the Cardinals here and the 8 points. I do like this play.
I'm going to go with the Niners in this one. I just think they're the much better team. And even though they were awful in the first half, mostly Garoppolo, but they really picked it up after halftime. They're going to dominate up front with Trent Williams back in the lineup, McCaffrey, and Elijah Mitchell. Mitchell looked really good in his first game back off injury. They still have Samuel, still have Kittle, a lot of weapons there. I still like the defense. Arizona beat up on John Wolford. and the Rams off, whatever you want to call the Rams at this point. It's not good. I think it's a massive step up in competition. I know Colt McCoy looked competent, looked pretty good. Once again, I don't think the Rams are in the same ballpark as the 49ers this season. Give me San Francisco. I think this team, based on schedule, might go on a massive run for the next couple weeks, but I like what I've seen. I'll go with the 49ers.
Yeah, I think you've got to go with San Francisco here. I don't trust the Cardinals. They cut Eno Benjamin this week, even though he was probably more effective than James Conner was on the ground this season. You're looking at the fact that, DeAndre Hopkins has been good and his return, but who else do they have? Are you going to trust Greg Dortch? Are you going to trust that Cardinals defense who only looked good against Andy Dalton? San Francisco looks motivated. They've played well the last few weeks. Granted, I know Rachel was disappointed that they didn't punch it in at the end of the game against the Chargers on Sunday night. But I still think San Francisco is good enough to win this game by double digits over a Cardinals team that's going nowhere fast.
This game is being played in Mexico City. The 49ers have already done enough damage to historical Mexico that I think the ghost of the Treaty of Guadalupe Hidalgo is going to take over this Cardinals team and just absolutely manhandle them.
I think that guy actually is dead, so I think you're on to something.
I got one right this time.
Okay.
That means it's going to happen.
Are you sure the ghost of
Montezuma
Montezuma is not going to wreak havoc on the Cardinals?
I mean, I don't know. They could be both fighting each other.
I want to put out, this is the only football show you're going to watch all weekend that mentions the Treaty of Guadalupe Hidalgo.
I was impressed by the name drop there.
It was a great poll.
I did not see that coming.
Great poll. God bless Wikipedia. So who you got here, buddy? You got the Cardinals?
I got the Cardinals.
All right.
Once again, it's bad. It's gonna be a bad omen for the 49ers to go into Mexico.
All right.
If you want more smart things like that, check out our promo this week. $25 for Chris and Stehn's picks, college and NFL. You'll love them. With that, that's a show.
My name is Josh Allen. And just so you know, I grew up on a farm just west of Fresno. Before I was throwing NFL bombs, I threw cantaloupes and they...